What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. I am so excited to finally announce that the Bink City collection is finally out. Happy Black Friday if you're watching this. There's a discount code, Bink21. The entire apparel site is 10% off for just today, and I'm super excited about this design. It's Bink City, so of course you have to celebrate the most recent Venetian win, and of course kind of commemorate the WSOP Bink as well. And to commemorate the Venetian win, we have the Vegas skyline as a silhouette in the background, Rampage up front, and then the whole back design, Bink City. So I'm super excited to announce it. Hopefully you're excited as well. Click the link in the description below, and like I said, Bink City 21, use that promo code for 10% off of the entire apparel site for just today. Thanks for the support. I'm so excited, and let's get into the video.
Damn, 10%, you cheap bastard.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. If you watched yesterday's video or last video, you know that we just busted a tournament, and we are here at the beautiful King's Lounge or whatever it's called. This is the cash game place here at the Rio. So it's gonna be our first time playing the 510 here, and should be a good time. It's uncapped and should play relatively big. Who knows? There's 3 510s running, and happy to hop in the mix it up in the cash games. I know there's a lot of tournament videos that's been going on, and everyone really liked cash game videos more. So if you want to see more cash, just hit that like button. It's always much appreciated, and hopefully we run it up. So wish us some run good. Let's run it out. We hop into this 5, 10, 20 game here at the Rio with $10,000 in front of us, and we're ready to run it up with one of the first hands, pocket sixes in the big blind. There's a +1 player who limps, then a hijack who raises to $100. The button makes the call, and onto me. Happy to set mine for a decent price. I call, and limper calls as well. So multi-way, the flop comes Jack 6-7 rainbow. Starting things off with bottom set is quite the dream. Action checks to this limper who bets out $400, about the size of the pot. Action folds to me, and sheesh. Pretty large sizing to start, and I'd assume this player has a pretty strong hand after donking out before the preflop raiser can bet. And facing such a large sizing, I assume he has a strong hand, and well, we do as well. We're out of position, and I think we can get more money in the middle here, so I decided to put in a check raise to $1,400. It's $1,000 more. We're playing fairly deep, so I love the opportunity to get stacks in here with a set. But he thinks about it for a while, and after taking off his thinking cap, he ends up making the fold, sadly. Later said that he folded King Jack, which is pretty ambitious, but sadly no more money for us, but happy to scoop up $700 just like that. In this next hand, the straddles kind of get out of control as we are in the $80 straddle, so that's right. 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, and we pick up 10 deuce of diamonds. Action folds around to the player to my right, who's in the $40 straddle, and he calls or makes the limpy poo for $80. And with this trash holding, I check my option. The flop comes ace, 4, 5, 2 spades, and a diamond. He starts with a bet of $80, and here we have a gutter and a backdoor diamond draw. I'm going to make the call here and float with some pretty bad intentions coming, or as some people like to call it, there's definitely some fuckery incoming. We're off to a turn which comes the Queen of Spades. It's not the card we're looking to see, but when he checks to us now, I think with 10 high and a dream, we're going to start betting, going to start bluffing here. There are some rounds we can bluff on, and this card could be one of them. I start off with $225, and for that amount, he makes the call. So, going to a river with pretty much no way to improve or feel strong about my hand, the river is the King of Hearts, and for a second time, he checks again. Like I said, we don't float the flop with 10 high to just check down. So I put in a bet of $625, and now he thinks for a good while. Cue the fast forwarding because he thinks about it for a while. I am just staring at the board, putting on my best poker face, and just like the last opponent, he takes off his thinking cap after he's done and folds. So scoop, nice. We take down 2 pots, and I can't say they were relatively easy, but this pot was hard earned. Like I said, the game's getting pretty big, and we are in the $40 straddle, 5, 10, 20, 40 with pocket 10s, and the player to my left, he's first to act and opens to a whopping $340. It's pretty huge, to be honest, and action folds to me. I've got a pretty good hand, and the decision is to either just call or 3-bet, and well, putting money in the middle is always more fun, and putting more money in the middle is even more fun. So we 3-bet to $1,000 total. It's pretty small. We're out of position, but this raise is so huge. So for 1,000, he makes the call, and we're going to a flop of 3-4-5 rainbow. Overpair, there are certainly some worries of him having a higher overpair than us, but this is definitely a board we can get a lot of value from. A lot of ace kings, ace queens of the world can call, some smaller pocket pairs. I started off with a bet of $1,400, and for $1,400, he makes the call. So we're playing a big one. We're off to a turn. Turn comes the Jack of Spades, brings in 2 spades, and this player has somewhere around $2,800 to $3,000 behind. The pot's getting pretty big right now, and I don't know. Don't really know, to be quite honest, whether I should be jamming, checking, betting small, but I close my eyes and announce all in.
All in?
And he makes the call super quickly, so I just don't know how I feel about this hand, but we have 1 pair, and all the money is already in, so what's done is done. Now off to see a river, which comes in 8. I show my pocket 10s. To be quite honest, I'm not super confident about it, but we already arrived here. We're already all in. It's committed. And somehow he says it's good, mucks his cards, and later tells us he had pocket 6s. So we scoop a ridiculously fat pot our way. All the chips get pushed in my direction, and wow, just like that, chipping up in a massive way with a semi-marginal hand. No complaints, just going to enjoy the profits. So with the straddles getting ridiculous, we decided to change this game to 10, 25, 50, $50 mandatory straddles. So effectively 25.50. Anyways, things are looking good when we pick up pocket queens in the hijack. Always nice to pick up premiums when you play a bigger game, and I decided to raise it up to $150. The player to my left makes the call, and the straddler ends up calling. So 3 ways, the flop comes king 10 6, 2 clubs and a spade. Not really loving this spot. I think I can go either way with a check or bet, but multi-way, I lean more towards a check, and action ends up checking all the way around. The turn now comes the 7 of spades, and the straddler checks to me. There are 2 flush draws out there now. Definitely time to throw out a bet, and I size to $300. Now only the player to my left makes the call. He seems like a pretty solid pro, so we're going to have to navigate a river hoping to see a brick. And the river is now the king of hearts. So all things considered, pretty good looking card for us, but I'm unsure of what to do here. While I can easily just check call against some sort of 10x holding he may have, or against his bluffs since all of the draws bricked out. That's one option. The second option would to be putting out a bet for value, since I think I would bet with all of my missed draws, and we also hold 2 queens that are blocking cards that missed, like bluffs. So I decided to go for a bet here of $800. Once again, it's another spot that I'm unsure about, but he thinks about it for a while, and I'm not sure if he's thinking about a raise or a call, but he ends up folding, so I guess we win this one. All things considered, pot is once again pushed our way, and we're just winning a lot of the significant and big pots so far in this session, so nothing to complain about, just picking up good hands and winning the pots. In the following one, with ace queen offsuit and +1, I open things up once again to $150. We get the small blind and big blind to call, and 3 ways the flop comes ace 6 7 all clubs. Here action checks to me, and I decided to just check this one back. Gonna play this one a little bit tricky. The turn comes a deuce. Both players check once again. I throw out a bet of $250, and both players make the fold. So pretty easy and standard way to make 2 months worth of Chipotle in a minute. Following that hand, haven't lost a significant pot yet. We pick up ace 10 of hearts in the big blind. There is a button open to $150. Small blind folds, and on to me. We're playing super deep, like over $15,000, $17,000. So I decided to put in a 3-bet to this one. I raised it up to $650 out of position, and this button player makes the call for $500. Let's go to a flop. The flop comes ace 3 4 rainbow with 1 heart. Ace high boards are going to be pretty good for us. So I decided to c-bet a smaller sizing to 450, and for 450, he decides on a call. The turn comes the deuce of hearts, brings in the backdoor flush draw, which is cool. Any 5 makes a straight, and I think we can go either way with a check or bet. I decided to check here. I think our hand is pretty marginal with a 10 kicker. can easily be dominated by better aces, and I don't think we need to protect our hand much with the heart draw as well, and action decides to go check, check. Seeing a free river, which is the 9 of diamonds, and I decided to just check again in this spot. Seems weird to check, turn, and then bet river, and he decides to check this one back. Seems like we're going to have the winner a high percentage of the time, and I show my hand, and we do win. So once again, haven't lost a significant pot yet. This session is going pretty smooth. In the following hand, we pick up the good old pocket tens once again. This time we're in the big blind, and since they served us so well last time, let's try to play another big pot in this hand. Action folds to me, and I decide to raise it up to $200. But on my left to act, the straddler makes the call. Going to a flop of 8-3-4 rainbow, just an overall great flop for our hand. So I put in a continuation bet of $250, and for $250, he makes the call. The turn is, well, just pretty darn good. The 10 of diamonds. Oh God, top set, pretty big pot in this 25-50 game. Loving life right now. I decided to size up to $700 here. I would do that with a lot of bluffs and obviously very strong hands like top set as well. And he thinks about it for $700 and ends up making the call. So we're going to a river with a pot ballooning up. River is a 4. Pairs the board, and we have top boat. This hand in story could not get any better than this, and basically having the nuts, I'm actually unsure of what I should be doing. Should I bet large for value? Should I bet small for value, or small to induce a bluff? Or sometimes can I check here, and if he had like a missed draw or something, allow him to bluff as well? Given that this player called twice so far, flop and turn, just unsure what the play is once again, but I decided to go on my intuition and bet out small. I bet small for $600. I think this sizing can get all 8x holdings to call, and to get missed draws to sense weakness and potentially raise as a bluff. And ultimately, he ends up folding though, so with all that said, he did end up having an airball hand. He shows us the Jack-9 offsuit. Decided to not go for the bluff raise, but I tried to induce it. He ends up making a nice fold, so big shout out to Carlos, who also watches the vlog. He's a great sport, also super fun to have on the table, and just happy to be on the vlog. So here is your appearance. Time to spice some things up when we decide to play a double board bomb pot for the time collection. We play for $100 each, and we pick up Jack-10 offsuit in the cutoff when the first flop comes Ace-9-8 rainbow, open-ended straight draw, and flop number 2 comes Jack-10 high. Just when you thought that this session couldn't get any more crazy, we flop gin on both boards. So when action checks to me, I'm going to throw out a bet, and I start small here to $300. We get the button and small blind to make the call, so pot's going to be building. We're going 3 ways now to 2 turns. Turn on the first board comes the queen. Bink City for us once again. This session could not get any better. We have the nuts on the top board, and turn number 2 comes a king. We still have 2 pair. Now, obviously, we are happy to commit stacks in, so when action checks to me, I throw out a bet of $1,200. Button ends up folding, and now the small blind thinks about his action for a while and jams. He shipped his entire stack in there, and I couldn't snap it off any faster, thinking that we have both boards as a clear favorite and locked it down. We're off to the rivers, and they're inconsequential. I show my hand, and oh God, he shows us Queen 9. Bink turns for both of us. He has 2 pair when we have a straight, and he has a straight when we have 2 pair. So we end up chopping. What a crazy run out. Didn't think that we would actually chop this one. I was so confident that we were winning. And wow, lucky that both of us faded the full house draws. But I guess there's not much blood, even though we were happy to put all of our money in the middle in this situation. So things are getting closer to losing a hand in that last hand. This time, in the small blind, Mariano wants to test us. He raises it up to $100 from the small blind. Big blind 3 bets to $450, and we look down at ace-queen offsuit in the straddle. Decisions. Can we call the $450 with Mariano behind and in position? Sometimes, maybe. Can we fold ace-queen offsuit pre-flop? I'd like to go with never. So that only leaves one option, which is going to be another raise. A 4-bet to $1,050 is incoming and is into the middle of the felt. We put in that 4-bet, the small blind Mariano gets out of the way, and this big blind player who 3-bet him ends up making the call. So we're going to a flop of king, queen, 3, 2 spades, and a diamond. This board certainly favors us more as the 4-better. We also have middle pair, good kicker, and who knows. He checks to me, and I decide to bet out $700. This might have been a mistake. Maybe I could have checked this one, but for $700, he makes the call, so feeling a little iffy about this hand already. The turn comes the 10 of diamonds, brings in 2 flush draws, and we've improved to a gutter, at the very least, to Broadway. He checks to me, and I'm going to check this one back here. I don't think our hand's that strong, and certainly could be stronger if we get ace-king or something like that as well. We're off to a river, which comes the 9 of spades, so the front door flush gets there. Any jack makes a straight, and he bets out this time to $2,300. Pretty miserable spot to be in, pretty miserable board for our specific hand, and I think we just got to fold. So, finally, we lose one of the more significant pots of the night, losing almost $2,000 here. So, pretty sneaky, huge pot, but can't really win them all. For the last significant hand of this session, we look down at king 9 of clubs in the small blind, and action onto the cutoff player who raises it up to $150. This is our buddy Mariano. Think that this hand out of the small blind is a decent hand to 3-bet with, so let's battle it out against our boy. I size up to $650. Big blind folds, straddler folds, and Mariano decides on a call. We're both playing super deep, like 15 to 17K thousand effective, so we're going to battle it out when the flop comes queen 5 deuce rainbow. 1 club on the board, super dry, and I think we can apply a lot of pressure to holdings that have us beat. Ace-high holdings or some pocket pairs or something like that. I start off for $450, and for $450, he decides on a call. Gonna have to navigate a turn, which comes the good-looking 3 of clubs. Great card to continue barreling on as we improve to our flush draw. I think some ace-high holding could do this as well, as we hypothetically would have improved to a straight draw as well. Anyways, with our specific holding, I size up to $1,700. And I would love, love, love for this one to get through. And ultimately, luckily, he does end up folding. Got the bluff through against our buddy, and he later tells us that he had pocket 10s in his hand. So definitely put 10s into a tricky spot. I'm just happy I got a fold. We'll live with that. Thank you, Greg, for dropping these off. I'll put them to good use. I tried to find as good lighting as I could outside here. It's nighttime, but today went pretty much as well as I could have asked for. Stumbled into the 5-10 game, then stumbled into a 5-10-20 mandatory straddle game. Then we got the double straddle going, and then we were like, why not just make this a 25, 10, 25, 50 game. So that went great. Honestly, didn't lose that many pots, which is awesome. Like, we won a lot of small pots, which obviously are not super small compared to like 1, 3, 2, 5 stakes. And it was smooth, just overall smooth session. I don't know, man. This is crazy. I think we're on a heater right now, and the lighting sucks. Oh, the lighting up better. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We were in the game for 10,000 out of it for 17170. What a great time Vegas is right now. I can't wait. I mean, obviously these vlogs are a little bit backlogged, but I can't wait to just release this one. So thank you so much for watching this one. Sorry for the poor lighting in the outro, but the Rio looks really cool. I think that's the Rio. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end. These videos are just a lot of fun to make, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching this as much as I enjoy making it. So see you guys next time. Peace.